Okay, so next up is Vassilis Chryssos from Sarantaporo, Greece. We're pulling you up. Sorry, I'm not as organized as usual. There we go. Et voila. There you go. So tell them who you are.
Well, and now for something completely different. Actually, we're going to see the same things, but from a zoom-out perspective. Let's see about the social aspects of all this technology that you people here are building. So I'm going to talk about our network. It's a community network called Sarantaporo.gr, which is based in Greece. And I'm Vassilis Chryssos. Just a few words about me so that you know who's speaking. I'm an engineer, a mechanical engineer actually. I am an entrepreneur. I'm an open data evangelist, and I'm a member and administrator of the Sarantaporo.gr community network. So Sarantaporo is a village in central Greece. It's next to Olympus Mountain, and you can see it over there. When we started our network in 2010, there were no telecommunication companies there, so people did not have an opportunity to access internet. So we are talking about a rural, isolated, mountainous area. A group of people stemming from Sarantaporo village decided that they wanted to change this, and they built the first mesh network in the village. It's a volunteers-driven endeavor. And soon after that, villages from all around Sarantaporo, from the area, wanted the same thing to happen for them as well. So they addressed this team and said, okay, could you come and build this network for us too? Soon, we had 15 villages in the area having their own mesh network offering open and free internet access connectivity. We have a non-profit organization. It was founded in 2013. Our vision is actually to create opportunities for people to stay in their birthplace, because Greek villages, as in villages from all over the world, are being abandoned by young people, fleeing to urban centers because they don't have opportunities. So we would like to do something to change that. Our mission towards that vision is to eradicate the digital divide and provide local communities with equal opportunities to access digital economy and citizenship. So we are doing this by deploying and modern telecommunications infrastructure as a commons, and also training local people on how to use this technology, how to build it themselves, how to expand it, but also working on building a community around this infrastructure and around this project. So this is our Sarantaporo network in numbers. We have a backbone network, which consists of 24 backbone nodes connecting today 11 villages, 3 farms, and 1 camp, and 40 point-to-point connections. And we have 95 access points. These are access locations in the villages, and more than almost 50 active local community members. These are actual people living in the villages who are building and maintaining their own community network. These are people we work with in order to be able to run the network. I didn't say that our base is in Athens, which is 500 kilometers away from these villages, so we definitely need people there to work with. This is what we do. This is the antennas that we build.
Excuse me. Just a quick question on the previous slide,
yes.
Julius Krobacek. What's the scale?
What's the scale?
Yeah.
Ah, yes, you're the one with the scale.
I'm the one about scale.
Yeah, okay. So let's say that, I don't know if there's a laser here. Yeah. From here, which is Sarantaporo, to here, which is Larissa, is 60 kilometers. This
single Wi-Fi link?
This is a Wi-Fi link. It's 60 kilometers. Yeah, this is the work we do. The mountain, you can see Olympus Mountain here, and this is Makis. who is putting up a mesh access point. Excuse me? Yeah. No, it's Mike is his name. This is a local associate we have in the village. This is how we work, actually. This is how we provide support to the locals. We have a map. We draw the position of the equipment, and we say here is a link that can be improved. You can see with orange color, and then people will go and set it up, and it will work fine. We provide training. Our main challenge is the distance and communication with local people, because, as I said, it's a 500-kilometer distance from Athens. So we try to build communication channels. We have achieved that by using a popular application. So yeah, I don't want to do an advertisement here too. Anyway, so our goal is to empower local people to build, maintain, and expand their own network. So we don't want to do it for themselves. We want them to be able to build it themselves. And we have been very thankful to be funded by Beyond the Net program of ISOC in order to achieve this for 2018 and 2019. And last Saturday, actually, we had this workshop in a village called Flamburo. We taught them how to make an Ethernet cable, how to change the IP settings in their computer. We're talking about people who are farmers, elder people. You will see them in the photo that comes next. So not very super techy stuff, but enough so that they can work with and troubleshoot their own network. So this is how a workshop looks like in those villages. You can see the people participating here. This is Yorgos explaining how a point-to-point link works. And this is Achilleas and Dimitris here, who are building the equipment so that they can also look at that, how it looks and how they can make it afterwards. As you can see here, most of the people are over 50 years old, and they are farmers. So one would wonder what's going on. Is it possible that these people will go and build a community network, like make links and work with IPs and work with cables? And why would they want to do that in the first place, since many of them do not even use internet? Yeah, well, there's one very basic reason for that. In order to have their grandchildren visit them in the village, they have to have internet. If they don't have, the grandchildren won't come. So that's a very good motivation for them to be there and to learn how to do that and to do it well. We also have women participating. Here, these ladies building the cable. And actually, in this workshop, they were the first to successfully complete working network cable. And they said that, yeah, it was easy. It was like knitting. So for them, it's almost natural to do.
I love it.
This is how we show them about the network architecture, literally using satellite photos and having these tokens with the strings connected so they can visualize the actual network architecture. And then after we do that, we will go out on the field and start looking in various locations where we can actually put the equipment so that it works very well. Some best practice that we have learned throughout the years that we work, they need to have a daily support. And this is something that they cannot find with the incumbents. They shoot a question in our group. In the next few minutes, they get an answer. They need to have a personal contact, because we are talking that we are building a local community. We're not just building, putting technology in place. So it's all about building a group, building a team, being part of the same team. And we also do social events to facilitate interaction between the villages, because these villagers, it's not given that they will know each other or they will interact with each other just because they are in the same region. Many of these people did not used to know each other before. And now they are a group that is developing this network. This is how it looks, the support that we are providing. So they will ask here, what's happening here? Okay, then you can check this area, or you can check here and here. And this happens in real time. This is a regular day of communication with the community. We are trying to celebrate our success. Everything's green, everything's working fine. We're trying to provide support. We're trying to provide updates on the progress that we make so that everybody shares the community spirit. So Wi-Fi and internet connectivity are really, really important for these people. It has to have relevance with their everyday lives. So this is why I asked for the services before, because we cannot just go there and just deploy some services. We have to know what it is that these people can use and what it is that these people need. Is this my time?
No, you're fine.
Okay. For example, this is an agricultural community. They need tools for their everyday job. This is what we are trying to build with them. And something that very important. Learning about computer networking helps build awareness on privacy and personal data. In this workshop that I told you last Saturday, when we were explaining about how the controller, the access layer controller works, then one of the participants turns to another and said, "Oh shit, they're watching everything." And we said, "Yes, this is how internet works. This is the reality." Yeah, we also see that people, when they are supported and informed, they don't get frustrated, and this is really important in community networks. And they really feel proud to contribute and build. They feel it that their own infrastructure. Well, what happens after that? Well, this is the magic. There was a local riding club who asked to the incumbent, "I want to have internet connectivity." And they said, "Okay, you are off the grid. You have to pay 6,000 euros to bring you internet." And then they came to us and said, "Can you help us with that?" And with a few hundred euro, we expanded the network, and now they're part of our network. They have a very, very good connectivity. Our older members, our older community members help the newcomers, and now they're even organizing their own workshops without us intervening at all. So it's taking a life of its own, this community. The the women, you saw them before. We are developing a farmer's log application through a European funded program, which is called Net Commons, which is really, really important for what they do. It can be a really important tool for these people. Telegram application has helped us very much to keep in contact. We had a really important debate with these people about the data that they produce, and they have built awareness on the value of this data and of who's managing and who's owning this data, which is a really, really big issue. We didn't expect that they will be so advanced in thinking about this stuff, but it came up, and we are very glad that it happened and the latest news is that we have had in the village, we have had a crowdfunding from people of the village to buy an access point for one of their fellow villagers who is disabled. They wanted to support him that way, and they bought it and put it in place. This is enabling exciting stuff to happen in our region, in an area. Just imagine that the visiting doctors in the villages could not prescribe medicine because they couldn't have access to the online system. And now they can use our network to do so. That meant that people would have to travel 30 kilometers to the nearest city to get their medicine prescribed, right? We are enhancing social cohesion the way I told you before. So the grandparents have their grandchildren visiting them, and we are strengthening the citizenship by providing access to digital public services. We're organizing new workshops throughout the year. We're planning to share our know-how with some other community in some other place of Greece, because we believe that this is how it works with community networks. We are
Hello, can you hear
continuously
me?
expanding access network.
Thank you. Vassilis, thank you very much for your presentation. Just a quick question with two parts.
Excellent. And
One, can you explain just very fast how the costs of
I don't
the
want to forget
network
Luis.
are covered?
Luis,
It means how do you pay for connecting to the internet? And the second one is how do you manage the maintenance of the network? Since it looks like a large area, so how do you manage to keep all the network running? Is community-based that maintenance? Thank you.
Thank you, Luis, for the questions. Concerning our funding, we have various revenue streams. So one is through programs like funding programs of European unions. Another is through organizations such as ISOC that is helping us with some funds, but also local people, the node owners, as they are called. They are contributing a fixed amount of money, which is like 60 euro per year to cover for the maintenance costs. And the other pillar is that we do a lot of volunteering work. So everybody is volunteering here. We don't have any professionals working on that still. And the second part is that we have, let's say, hybrid model. The core team, as we call it, which is our organization, has an overview of the operation of the whole network. So it's a very centralized overview of if it works correctly, like through the controller. And then when we see that something is not working right, then we will contact the local team, the local group in the village, and ask them to go and intervene so that we can fix that. The other way is that they are complaining. So they're writing in the Telegram saying, yeah, my access point is only 10 megabyte per second, 10 megabit per second, so something's wrong. And then we will work with them and bring it up to speed. Yes, we have a unique, let's say, help here. We are connected to the local university of the nearest city, so they are providing us with the backhaul, and they are giving it as a social responsibility towards local villages, towards local community, towards people who cannot access internet otherwise.
Okay, and in the queue, Addison?
Yeah, actually, my question is related to the first question of Luis, but I might ask a bit more further, like about in terms of sustainability. You say that now you're subsidized internet connection, right, to the village. So, and also the villagers also sharing some costs as well, right? So my question is, what about the long term? For example, like if some villager decided to quit from the member, and you might lose some of the user who pay, right? So what is your idea about how to?
Yeah, so this is something that we are currently working on. We haven't solved the business, let's say the social business model question yet, but it's an ongoing process. We believe that the more you engage the local community, the more they will support it. So now we are receiving support from many people. Everyone who has an access node in his house will contribute with a steady amount of money each year. We also do fests, local fests, and we gather some contributions from there as well. We try to diversify our revenue stream as much as possible so that we minimize the risk. But we cannot say that we have solved the sustainability problem yet.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, Rich Thanky from Jangala. Just a question about your workshop and how you were teaching people about the basics of network building and basic concepts. So two questions both linked to each other. One is, what were the areas that people had greatest difficulty with, say IP addressing or whatever? And secondly, how close are you to, I mean, how has your model been replicated by nearby communities and other similar communities? And you know, getting these skills to spread is the important question. to make something kind of that can grow quickly. So how close are you to that?
Okay. Concerning the first question, things that they cannot see, like they cannot visualize, they cannot comprehend, because these are people who are not experts on technology. So they find it quite difficult to understand, for example, the network architecture, the backbone layer, the access layer. These are things that confuse them. So that's why we try to visualize it with the map and the tokens. And yeah, if you go deeper into more advanced networking concepts, then we lose them there. It's really, really difficult to work with that. And this takes time to build. But let's say 90% of the problems that our network has can be solved with basic knowledge on how to make a cable, or how to align the links, or how to put it in the right position in the right way. The second question was, yeah, how to replicate what we do. It's really, really important for us to, let's say, package our knowledge and experience and, let's say, export it or transfer it to other areas. It hasn't happened yet. And it's really important for us that this summer, it will be the first time that we will go to another village along with people from our villages and stay there for 3 days, do the workshops, build the first node with them, and try to teach them how to do it themselves. But it's really important that you create connections, so that after you're gone, after you leave, they don't feel that they are on their own. They have to feel that we are there to support them, and this is how they will continue growing.
Where can we follow your progress this summer with your replication? Do you have stuff on your website? How can we follow your?
Our website, unfortunately, is in Greek, and we are really trying very hard to build
The
out.
Gaia list, you could let us know.
But definitely, we could do that through the Gaia list, or yeah, perhaps we will make a, let's say, Medium blog, or I don't know.
Thank you.
That's a great question, though. Thank you, Richard. Okay, we have about a minute for a question and a minute for an answer, because we got 2 more speakers.
Yeah, I'll be super fast because I think my question overlaps a bit with that one. I was curious about the engagement you get from that large bunch of people over time. Do you find that maybe after a couple of years or less, you become very highly dependent on 1 or 2 very engaged participants? And in that case, does kind of the single point of failure move away from being the infrastructure and towards the individuals? And if that happens to be someone who leaves or, God forbid, dies, does everything fall to pieces?
We are here where we are today after many years of intervention in the region. So we have worked with many people. People actually have come and have gone. We renew the human resources that we have, and we see that in each village there is always 1 or at most 2 champions. The people who are most, let's say, militant, and they will go and build everything and move and inspire other people to do so. These are not, let's say, unique people. I mean, if somebody leaves, then somebody else will eventually take his place. Not very soon, but there will be somebody. And it takes a lot of effort from our side to be there and to continue building the community. And yeah, this is not something that you can, let's say, secure for 100%, because what we do is like 90% social and perhaps 10% technical. So you have always human relations to work with.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you very much. This sounds like IXPs in the making as well. Yeah, 80%
Definitely.
human, 20% technical sometimes. Thank you, Vassilis. That was great. Thank you. Next up is Muhammad with the Community CellNet.